Hey guy or gal, welcome back to my channel. This is Gokolo here. This is gonna be part 4 of my Road to Celestial, where in one night I went from Grandmaster 3 all the way to Celestial 3. And I'm just gonna be breaking down my tips and tricks in how I did it. I ended up with a 80% win rate in the Grandmaster lobbies, and this was in the first half of season 7. So I ended with a 66% win rate in the first half of season 7. The hardest part of playing Scarlet Witch is your teammates not hating you. If you notice, Groot originally went Doctor Strange, and the moment I picked Scarlet Witch, he switched to Groot. And I think that's his way of saying, like, get off Scarlet Witch, boo. But I was committed there, and I was gonna kind of feel it out, because there is times I have actually switched just to keep the team morale up, and went a different DPS, just so that they won't like throw or break apart. But he actually does switch us back to Doctor Strange. Now, if you are new here, please like and subscribe. If you've been watching these videos, please like and subscribe. If you're around the vicinity of what you're listening to, please like and subscribe. And if you notice, my intro is getting kind of repetitive if you've been watching my other videos. But since most viewers are new, I have to kind of repeat what I'm doing with this playlist and this 15-part series. So that's why you're going to hear a lot of that. And here you notice it went back to Doctor Strange. Unfortunately, this is not live footage. This was actually done, this is after I play the game. So you're not going to be able to hear my comms, unfortunately, because I do talk a lot, whether you like it or not. And I use a lot of comms to actually win games, because that is one of the biggest drawbacks about playing this game, especially in the PlayStation 5 or in console, is that people don't like talking anymore. It's gotten so toxic, most people don't talk. But you will be surprised if you're keeping a positive attitude and you try doing comms, people are a lot more responsive than you think. Okay, so now the first thing I do, especially as a DPS player, is look at my team comp, see what priorities is gonna take place as a DPS player. I know we have Spider-Man, so I know that if the healers are getting attacked, Spider-Man isn't gonna protect them. It's gonna be on me. I also know I have the team up, so here we're also gonna talk about how to use the team up wisely. I'm gonna create a Scarlet Witch guide in and of itself to kind of break it down, just so you get an idea of how to play her and how you can play her higher lobbies. If you notice here, I was watching out for Daredevil, and my job is to not let him play. That's number one. Daredevil only gets value if he's diving the backline. So when you're pressuring him, the moment he dives, you actually push him out. If you notice my team up, I used Emma once she overreached. It actually led to her death. And so when they overextend is when I use the team up. If I would have used the team up right off the bat, they would have just kind of peeled. They would have played safer, and the team up would have been useless. So now I have successfully stopped Daredevil from playing. This is the second time I'm stopping him from playing, and he led to his death. And then Emma also wasn't getting to play. If you notice, I'm also getting rid of the squids. Obviously, that squid is a little too far, so I couldn't do that. So at this point as the DPS, I'm actually applying pressure with my damage. And right there I already got 2 or 3 Elams. And this is where Elams are important. I had to pressure and help my healers with Daredevil, which I didn't get the kill on that one, but it led to his death. Same thing with Emma. Emma was trying to push forward, she overextended, I used the team up, back her up, and it led to her death. This is where Elams are important. So if you're doing damage, but it's not leading to kills, even if you don't get the final hit, then you're kind of just feeding. But if you're doing actual damage in specific characters, that actually adds a lot of value to it. If you notice there, Namor tried to solo ult me, and he failed. And if you notice at this point, the opposite team, it's probably annoyed with me. Namor's not getting to play, Daredevil's not getting to play, Emma's not getting to play. So he tried to actually solo ult me, and I was able to walk out of there. That is one of the benefits of Scarlet Witch, though, because she also has Disappearing Axe. Now, if he would have ulted better and ulted me right in the center, he might have gotten me there, because you don't get to use Disappearing Axe or movement abilities when you're in the center of the Namor ult. Again, Daredevil trying to make a play, and I say, no, you are not welcome here. She counters that ult. This was probably a bad ult on my part. I tried to counter the cloak ult, but I was too far back to even get to her. So then I ended up going back to the team fight, and then Hela actually stopped me from playing. Now I like that the opponents went Hela. Well, I don't like it, but I can understand why they went Hela. They went Hela there because of trying to deal with me from a distance, which would add a little more value and actually pressure them to like nullify my gameplay. So Poke does great as a counter to Scarlet Witch. One thing I didn't mention though, and this is a really big pro tip, if you notice, Scarlet, our cloak and dagger ulted, and that's what basically led to us losing. She should have maintained that ult in that first point, because no one was really in danger. The only one that was in danger was Doctor Strange. But it's hard to blame her because Doctor Strange was overextending at that point. She didn't want Doctor Strange to die. But that's what gave them an advantage on the ults, because they had a healing ult on us after our Cloak and Dagger ulted. So something to keep in mind, especially when they're pushing. They're the ones that have to do the play to capture point, to get point. So sometimes if you're the first to ult, you're actually set. Here, we were losing team fight. I was trying not to stagger. I was trying to figure out where my healers were. At that point, I realized I'm just going to have to die here because my teams are being distracted on the other end. I should have peeled back all the way back. Okay, so at this point, I'm noticing that we are getting staggered. So here I'm talking and trying to get comms so that we like kind of regroup. But at that point, it was too late. Doctor Strange went in there and died. But it's important, especially with staggering. Even if you just add that in comms, it adds great value. Even if it's not a 6v6 because someone's still always staggering, if it's a 5v6, you're better off that than a 2v6 at all times. And that's actually allowed us to retouch point here. Now we're gonna play the game here. Fat ult or not fat ult? Okay, do I get kills here? Do I not? No, I don't. That is one of her weaknesses, obviously, and I talked about that before. And you're gonna see adaptations I made there. So I made a note. Emma's gonna go after me. She's obviously gonna try to grab me. That is her main job as an Emma player. If you hear the Scarlet Witch ult, you wanna go diamond and grab her. You're gonna notice later on, I'm gonna use that to my advantage. So now I know that Emma's gonna try to grab me. So you ult a little differently. Here again, I'm trying to regroup. I'm actually talking to people, and they're actually listening at this point. And we look at this. This is a much better. Now it's all 6 of us against 6. The only reason why we lost that second point altogether was because we were staggered. We were completely staggered. Here, I'm watching for the dive again. Again, I'm not letting Daredevil play again. As long as we were not staggering, we were easily beating them. Now here, I'm keeping track of the ults. So I do remember mentioning, hey, watch out for Namor. He's gonna have ult soon. He's gonna be fishing for that. Here we're making a little bit of space, and they heal ult, and Luna counters. So I'm kind of careful not to ult here because we do have a healing ult, and I'm going after Cloak. I noticed Emma's gonna try to grab me, so I go a little higher, and that's what led to her death actually. So you just gotta be smart about how you use it. Every time you die with that ult, collect data as to why it didn't work. And I was ready for that ult because I'm always, looking for Daredevil. And this is where I kind of warned them about the Namor ult. She didn't have to go that far forward to make space, knowing that she had the Namor ult. I brought that up, but I mean, she also was ulting against the Daredevil ult. So it worked out at the end. Here, Hela ulted, so I told everyone take cover. This is a big point here. Styles makes fights, so if you guys are playing together, that worked out in that scenario, but Doctor Strange actually went there to stop the ult. So either we attack the ult together and Doctor Strange blocks it, which is ideally what you want to do, but Doctor Strange was so low in health, there was no point, and we were not within the range of the ult. So we kind of just wanted to cover, but Doctor Strange decided to block it. And either way though, because we played together and we took cover, it actually worked out to our advantage, even though Doctor Strange died there. Because if some of you are playing as a team, you increase the odds of winning. But if it's like a split 50-50 where only half of you are doing one thing and the other half are doing another thing, then the team easily breaks apart. Again, now they go Thor, so now I'm trying to use my team up against Thor. This team up's great against Thor. He doesn't have a shield, so you can melt him really quickly. Now, I noticed they're flanking, so I give a heads up about Namor flanking. I'm not sure where he is at this point. But now we actually peel back together as a team. I'm telling you, if you're doing comms and you're aware of what's going on in the game, it will increase the odds of you guys playing like a team. Again, here I'm trying to bait out Emma trying to grab me. But now Luna froze me. Fair enough. Here I noticed Bucky's dying a lot, so I started asking Bucky, hey bro, do you mind like going anti-dive, or do you know any other characters? And then that's when Bucky starts telling us that his game is lagging. I'm not sure if that was an excuse or not. He was originally playing Spider-Man. He was the first one to die on our team on the first couple team fights, but he actually pops off later on, so maybe he was lagging. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And like that, we actually stop him from getting 3 points. Here, if you notice, one of the things to keep in mind, if they don't get the 3 points, it's very winnable. Sometimes people kind of just give up, even if they didn't get the 3 points, which is pretty crazy. Because even when they get 3 points, it's winnable if you brought them to overtime. Sometimes they could be very strong in the push, but very weak on the defense. So don't think you lost a game just because they got the 3 points. But here we even stop them on the 3 points. I'm keeping morale up. I'm talking about how it's winnable. I forgot who else was on comms in this particular game because someone else was actually talking alongside me. And it sometimes just takes two to be able to actually get good team morale going and actually doing plays. So now Little Mexican is going to lock in. Shout out to Little Mexican. Thank you for joining our team. I'm glad you stopped lagging.
Look at us.
I'm just trying to fill dead air. Oh, well, filling up dead air. Like and subscribe. Also, if any of these tips help you out, please leave a comment down below. If any of these tips you disagree with, go ahead and leave a comment below. I'm more than open to, start a discussion about this game. As toxic as it may get, I'm open to having these discussions.
Capture the mission area. Got it?
Okay, so now we're on the push. Now, I'm still thinking like, what is my main responsibility as a DPS now? We have Bucky, who's a little more frontline damage now. I'm watching for Daredevil. Notice I didn't just go in there and just start shooting at the tanks. I actually want to see what's going on in the game. And look at this. This is beautiful craftsmanship from Scarlet Master. Boom, I got the kill there. I disappeared quickly and I reappeared quickly to actually get the final hit on him. So I was looking to kill him. He overextended, and once again, Daredevil is not getting to play. And this Daredevil is going to start to switch and or either make adaptations. And now this becomes a lot smoother. On top of that, I'm doing comms. So we moved together there to get Luna. And then we moved back together. Literally just moving together. Imagine you're in a boy band and saying Backstreet Boys, whatever you like, or BTS. You move together. As long as you're moving together, you increase the odds of winning so much more. So now it's going a lot smoother. You notice? They were about to get 3 points, but now it's becoming very one-sided. Again, Daredevil died. And so Daredevil's not getting to play. I basically nullify Emma's gameplay for the most part, especially Daredevil's gameplay. And since I'm destroying the squids, basically Namor is a half character right now. Oh, when you get rid of the squids, you don't have to be in front of the opponents to get rid of the squids, depending where he plays them. Try to take cover. There's no point in you taking damage as you're getting rid of the squids or stuff like that. So notice I took cover there when I was getting rid of the squids. Here I did a call out in every single one of those ults. If you see my live game, you're gonna notice how good I am at calling out ults. So please watch those videos. There's one with Doctor Strange where comms carry games. Now here I ulted for pressure, and I actually trade off the Luna ult for the Emma ult. You'll be surprised how much value that adds. And now they have to use the Doctor Strange ult. So they use 3 ults in countering basically my ult, which is a great trade-off. And here you can see the actual percentage difference in ults. Now we have a Doctor Strange ult on them. We're about to get an Emma ult on them. And as far as the healing ults, we're about the same. And now it's like, this is an easy win here. So the good thing is we all kind of move back, regroup, we stabilize the fight, get everyone healthy again, and then we're moving together. And now I'm watching out for Doctor Strange ulting, because I know my Doctor Strange wants to ult. I think he wasn't in comms, and that's why he was the one kind of doing his own plays. But here I'm just, see, now I noticed him going up, I moved up with him. Now that led to Doctor Strange dying, the other Doctor Strange dying, but he got grabbed because Emma was ready. Shout out to that Emma, she did good. She actually stopped a lot of ults there. But since we're moving together, we're able to steamroll them. Once the fight opens up, and you see a healer, as a DPS, go straight to the healer. And as you notice, basically Daredevil switched to Iron Fist. And so clearly he's like, oh, Daredevil's not working. So let me repeat the same mistakes, but with a different character. So they go Iron Fist. They're still gonna be at a disadvantage if I'm dealing with him when he's right next to our healers. And now you notice we even have an ult advantage, even though we used Doctor Strange and it didn't really land. Because of them exchanging 3 ults against my ult. Alright, here I'm actually countering the White Fox ult. And I get Namor and White Fox. White Fox loses her ult if I ult her. She won't die, but the Fox form gets destroyed. Because I think Scarlet Witch ult does 999 damage. And I think she has like 1000 health or something like that, but she already took some damage. So I basically nullified that ult and I got Namor. That's big value. Big value with that ult. Here you're just playing neutral. When you're playing neutral, waiting till there's an opening. You see how you open up, then I'm working an angle. And now we're moving in together because Bucky's popping off. He connected his Wi-Fi, his Ethernet cable. Oh, okay, this is a fun pro tip. You notice I saw Luna there? I was telling them she's 1 HP. She wasn't 1 HP. But I just said that because I knew that we're going to focus her if they think, you know, oh, she's 1 HP, let's kill her. So, especially with healers, I do that a whole lot. And just like that, with comms and a positive attitude became an easy, smooth push. So keep morale up, and it's gonna increase the odds of winning by so much more. Now I'm also gonna do a Scarlet Witch guide eventually once I'm done with the Celestial series. This is gonna be in the same playlist. If you find any of this helpful, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and you're gonna be hearing a lot more of me. Thanks and bye.